Global companies spend millions every year to discover the truth about their markets, but that truth relies entirely on extracting data from real people. Where massive corporate budgets meet human data, researchers face immense pressure. They need the right answers, and the push to blur boundaries to get those answers is constant. To navigate this, the industry separates morals from ethics. Morals are subjective, personal opinions, like whether a specific product is good or bad. Ethics are the rules of conduct researchers adopt to ensure the evidence they collect is objective and trusted. The first uncompromising rule is simple. A participant must never be harmed or adversely affected by taking part in a study. The second rule demands absolute transparency. The researcher has to be honest about exactly what they are doing and why they are doing it. These rules protect the professional integrity of the data. If researchers lose the trust of the people they interview, they lose the ability to provide the insights that organizations need to grow. Let's test these boundaries. Imagine you need data from a busy professional, like a doctor, and you offer them $200 to take a survey. Is that a bribe? It is an acceptable honorarium, a standard financial incentive to compensate someone for their time. However, it only stays ethical if the researcher is totally transparent about the research's purpose and who is sponsoring it. This table of ethical dilemmas directly addresses the $200 offer. The industry standard confirms it is an established practice, provided there is total transparency regarding the purpose of the research. Consider a different scenario. A company calls a homeowner to conduct a survey about home insulation. But halfway through the questions, the caller pivots and starts a sales pitch for a double glazing window installation. What starts as a seemingly innocent data gathering exercise snaps shut, trapping the participant in a high-pressure sales funnel. The industry calls this sugging, selling under the guise of research. It is a fundamental violation of ethics because it uses a participant's trust as a gateway to sell them products they didn't ask for. Compensating someone for their time up front is an honest transaction. Deceiving a participant about the intent of the interview is a violation of both core principles. The lines get even trickier with competitive intelligence. Is it ethical for a market researcher to become a mystery shopper at a rival's business to gather intel? If the researcher checks into a competitor's hotel and pays for the room, that is acceptable. A fair price was paid, and the business was not harmed by the visit. But if that same researcher poses as a car buyer at a competitor's dealership with zero intention to buy, they cross the line. They are wasting the salesperson's time and potentially costing them a real commission. The final row of the ethical response guide highlights this distinction. Mystery shopping is ethical if goods or services are paid for, but unethical if it involves wasting a competitor's time without an intent to buy. This logic applies to all corporate intelligence. Posing as a student or a journalist to infiltrate a company and steal trade secrets is illegal, and it violates the mandate to avoid causing harm. Competitive intelligence is a legitimate part of business strategy, but it stops being ethical the moment deception causes financial or operational harm to the target. Ultimately, these specific dilemmas come down to a single boundary: informed consent and data privacy. A participant must know exactly what they are signing up for, who they are talking to, and how their data will be processed and stored. If researchers break these rules by selling participant data or hiding their true motives, the public will eventually stop answering the phone. Market research is an ecosystem built entirely on trust. If the public stops participating, companies lose the ability to test their assumptions and are forced to make major investments based on little more than guesswork. To prevent this, professional researchers follow a definitive framework, like the Market Research Society's 10-point Code of Conduct. This code demands that participation remain voluntary and that the data privacy of respondents is honored at all times. Professionals rely on these codes to maintain their reputation. They ensure that market research remains a tool for gathering better evidence while respecting the rights of the people who provide it.